Hi, I'm Steve Spencer from SMB Capital. And today's trading lesson is a trade from the open. It's actually a trade that didn't work, lost money. People ask from time to time, we love to hear about the trades that don't work out. And there's plenty of those. Anybody who trades for a living knows there's lots of losers, lots of winners. Average win rate per trader, 50%. They're doing extremely well. Even traders whose win rates are 30, 40% can make a very good living as long as they control their risk and make sure there's good risk reward on the trades that they're taking. So the trade is an ACAD, and it's something that we discussed in our morning meeting every day before the market opens. I run a morning meeting. We talk about stocks with fresh catalysts. We call them in play, and we usually have about 2 to 4 ideas like that each day, as well as technical setups and second day plays. And if you're interested in learning more about that, Google Trader 90. You can find out more information how we do that every day. So the trade from today was ACAD. There was fresh news. News came out that they got a certain designation from the FDA. It's a biotech stock. There were some raised price targets from a few analysts. And so that makes it in play. What does that mean? It's going to attract attention. More volume is going to come in. There's going to be more liquidity. And most likely it's going to make a larger than normal move. And so those are the types of stocks that we're looking to trade each day. This particular trade took place right on the open. A couple of things you should know about the open. Number one, how do we define that? It's usually the first 15, 20 minutes in the morning. There is generally a lack of trends during that time. We'll see some violent moves up, some violent moves down. As the things settle in after 10 o'clock, that's when we get our slower trends. And so that was kind of the setup that we were looking at in ACAD this morning. And then what I do as part of the prep for the morning meeting is I'll put in written notes into a written game plan so people can follow along in the morning meeting. In this case, you can see ACAD was the first stock we talked about. The trade idea was to buy it in a pullback to the 40 to 40.50 area. There was $1 to $2 of upside. And I show you here an example of a script that I use just for a basic pullback trade. What it does is I can put in a price that if a stock comes to where I want to buy X amount of shares, I can pick prices where if I'm wrong, where I get out, stop prices. And I can put on a profit target. If I want to take some off, and automatically I can do that with a profit target, a price target for the profit target, as well as a percentage of the position. This can be really helpful on the open when things are flying all over the place. Maybe I have a bunch of different positions, I'm putting on a bunch of new trades. It makes sure, number one, that I don't miss certain trades that I've outlined in the morning meeting, and number two, helps me manage those trades because I can only manage so many things or only look at so many things at the same time. And so that's just an example of a simple script. So in the idea with ACAD was, here's the daily chart on it. This stock for the last couple of years has been bopping up and down between the mid-20s and the low 40s. And what you can see on the daily chart is every time it gets above 40, it's been having trouble staying above there. And so what we talked about in the morning meeting today was, okay, the news came out. Initially, it spiked as high as $42 a share. That was in the after hours yesterday. When we came in this morning, I said, if it can hold above $40, we might retest that after hours high of 42. Maybe it goes a little bit higher. Maybe it closes above 40 today, and this is the beginning of a multi-year breakout. What you can see now, looking at the intraday chart, is that absolutely 100% did not work out. It came down right on the open to that 40-50 area, actually flushed a little bit below it. It popped back up right on the open in the first few minutes above 41, but eventually over the next 10-15 minutes went below $40 a share and trended down a couple of dollars lower over the next hour before finally bottoming out. So example of a trade idea that didn't work. Another thing that I want to point out on this is after I got stopped out of the initial trade, I jumped in a couple more times, and it's interesting. What I found is over the years, in the last few years, I've been doing this for over 20 years, when I jump into things intraday, when I don't have that set game plan from that I've set up in the pre-market, I got to be very careful because you can see right here, once it got below 40, it just red bar after red bar after red bar. And so I wouldn't say that was the highest percentage trade, me jumping in there. And so it's a reminder, somebody had actually asked me a question today about, do I game plan every setup? How detailed do I get? What makes me jump into things after the open that I haven't game planned? And one of the things that I said was, if I jump into something that I haven't developed a pre-market game plan for, I'm very careful on the risk. I'll get in very light, much smaller than I would if I've already drawn out a detailed game plan. And so in this case, as it was dropping below $40, a couple of times I nibbled trying to capture a bounce, went in very, very cautiously. And so today's trading lesson, we take trades on the open. Many of them don't work out. We just want to make sure that we know exactly when we get into those trades where we're going to get out and have very well-defined risk. Hopefully there was something helpful in this video for you. Thank you.